Hello everyone, welcome back to the Traveling Merchant. Wanted to do another quick update. So I was able to get the neck stabilized. I'll show you real quick. So as you can see, oh, there we go. I was able to build a much more stiff structure to help hold it in place. Got this hard piece glued to the top, so the head will have something to rest on. And as you can see, I got some holes cut out so I can breathe and see. I put some mesh in there, try to hide my face a little bit. I think I might do maybe one more layer of this, just to make sure that my face isn't blatantly showing when I start putting texture and stuff on this. I did get the arms glued on. I had to use hot glue right here because the way they were sitting, it was really difficult to try to use the spray glue. So what I'd do is I'd do hot glue along the seam and just hold it until it solidified. And then, obviously that took a while because it's hot glue. But as it solidified, I just would slowly creep, gluing each piece, letting it completely set, and then gluing and gluing all the way around, inside and out, on both arms. And I found out really quick that the armholes, my hand, it's really hard for me to reach out of this because it's a little, just slightly big from where the armholes are to where my hands come out. So I have to kind of like get my hands really stretched to get them to poke out these. So I'm not sure if I'm going to try to cut this hole down a little, cut this arm down just a smidgen so I don't have to try to reach so far to get my arm through. I'm gonna have to keep going through and touching up stuff. Some of these seams are coming through, or are starting to pull apart, because it's just starting to get heavy. You can see some of the stuff start to come apart. So what I have to do is I'm gonna have to probably take hot glue over each of these seams to make sure they don't come apart while I'm trying to keep working on this. As you can see, that's what I've been doing in some of these. A lot of these seams where they're coming apart, put a little hit of hot glue. Obviously, once I actually get some of the texture on and I start overlapping them on these, that'll give it its strength to make sure it doesn't completely just come apart. And of course, when you actually paint it with latex rubber, which I did decide I am going to do just latex. I thought I would do the Elmer's glue. Maybe I'll get a test strip just to see how it works. But from everything that I've been researching, it might wash off because it's not exactly waterproof. So I want to try to do latex. The cheapest way I can figure out how to do it is just getting a gallon at a time, and then just stretching it out to every time I get it. It's $50 here and there. Obviously, it's cheaper if you get it in the 5-gallon buckets, but it's like $250 up front. So I just can't do that right now, especially since we have a little one on the way. I want to show you see, I had to take the glue all along the inside. I'll probably have to keep layering it. Maybe get some strips of foam and glue. Let me see if I can hold this. Get strips of foam and glue it like this, or spandex or something to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, it's holding up pretty well. The hot glue is working okay. Doesn't seem to be doing anything weird, thank goodness. As you can see, I put a lot of hot glue on some of the places I know are going to be problems. And I think I'll feel better about it when I actually can get this thing textured, so that way I'm not so worried about the seams popping. I would highly recommend anyone who's gluing these foam pieces together, don't be like me and get the cheap stuff. Get the Foam Fest 74. It is like $20 a can, but I have a feeling it would have worked a lot better than trying to use this cheap stuff, because it does not seem to want to stay. It's exactly what happened to this test leg I did. You can see all this was glued at one point and it's already pulling apart, like really easy. Same thing here, and all these are having the same problem. So I don't know if that's just me not putting on enough glue or what. So I just got the straps in for the back. I'll show you. So these are the straps. I'll cut them, and when I finally get the other foam in, I'll make the hole for me to get in and out of it. So this is a perfect. I can show you exactly how it'll do. So now you can kind of see where the hole is going to be for me to get in and out. I'll have 2 pieces of foam all the way down, glued flat, and they'll come right about to here and they'll meet in the middle. And then all along, I'll put these straps at specific points. I got 5 of them, and I'll glue them in with the foam that's going to meet here, so it'll be kind of sandwiched in between these two. And then what that'll do is, so that way it'll help give it strength. That way when I start pulling on the straps to help cinch it into place, it's not going to just rip the straps out, but it'll have 2 points of contact being glued to, including this part, the strap itself, and the foam that's going to connect. And then after that, I can get the back piece put in, or at least see how it'll fit with all the Velcro that I have. That's all this stuff. And then I'll test it, see how it works. If it works well, then I'll glue the spines on. Then, well, by that point I'll probably have the foam in so I can finish the legs. At least getting the legs on, and then I'll determine whether or not I want to actually glue the hands and the feet in place, or if I just kind of wear them like gloves and shoes. I can just pull them on and off. They're not actually attached to the costume. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so that's where I'm at so far. It's coming along pretty well. If you like what you see, or have any tips and suggestions on how I can do this better, please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything will, and share with your friends. Anything helps. Allows me to keep making content like this. But yeah, that's the other foot I'm going to finish, but I think I'm going to pause on that, because once this foam comes in, then I can really start ripping and roaring on the rest of this body. Once I actually get most of this assembled, I think that's when I'll start working on the head, because again, I want all this to be working, movable, and then I will start working on the head, because I don't want to touch the head until all of this is basically ready to go, with at least doing test runs, like getting in it, walking around, making sure everything's functional before I start working on the head, because the head to me is still the most important part. It's kind of the centerpiece of the whole thing. If the head doesn't look, if it looks goofy, then I don't want to, then it's not look great. So if I can make it look good, looks like I need to do some more seams there, more glue on that seam, I mean. But if it looks goofy, then the whole suit might look goofy. So I want to be really conscientious of getting everything else ready for mobility testing. And then once it's that point, I'll do the head, at least the base of the head, and then its texture. And that's going to be the part that's going to take the longest, because I have to get pieces like this. I have to cut them all. I have to cut a bunch of these pieces, strips. I got to do spikes and bits and pieces like this everywhere. I have to look at reference photos to make sure I make it look right. So this is going to be lots and lots of fun. I'll probably use spray glue for most of that. Some parts I'll probably use hot glue, but in the meantime, like I said, it's coming along pretty well. I'll flip it over so you can get one last look at how it's coming along. I mean, this thing is just gigantic. You'll probably see it in the thumbnail. I'll post a picture of me in it, that way you guys can see exactly how big this thing is, because I mean, this doesn't have the legs in, it doesn't have the tail on. Like, I'm a big guy, and this, like, I have problems getting my hands out. That's how long the arms are. So yeah, a lot of fun. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks you again for tuning in, my fellow travelers. Hope you're having a safe January. I know it's been pretty crazy with all the snow. And we'll keep you updated and can't wait to see you next time. Thanks.